Hello everyone and welcome to another clean and declutter with me. My house was an absolute disaster, especially my oldest son's room, and it ended up turning into a huge declutter that I was not even expecting to do. Not that there's any excuse, but I was cleaning up after Easter weekend, and I also had taken my younger sister to a concert the day after Easter, so my house just totally fell apart and needed some serious attention. So let's just jump right into it. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy cleaning, decluttering, and organizing videos, I post a new one every single week. So first of all, I'm just giving you guys an overview of the state of my house and the areas that we will be working on. As you can see, things were a mess. I did absolutely no cleaning the day before I filmed this video because I was just so exhausted from all the festivities of the weekend, and I was certainly paying for it. We're going to start off today though in Carson's bedroom. He is my 6.5-year-old. He typically does a really good job at keeping his room clean, but it's good for me to get in there sometimes and do a deeper clean and declutter, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. I wanted to wash all of Carson's bedding, but I remembered that he recently told me that underneath his mattress there were just so many dust bunnies, is what he said, so I wanted to also lift up his mattress and make sure that I vacuumed underneath it. I really should get under there and vacuum more often underneath his bed, but I can't lift the slats up, so it's kind of a pain because I have to vacuum like between all the wooden slats, and also his room is not big enough for me to move the bed in order to vacuum underneath it. So it's just such a huge project, but you guys will have to let me know in the comments, how often are you lifting up your kids' mattresses and vacuuming underneath them? But now we are quite literally throwing the bedding down the stairs so that I can get them into our washing machine. There was barely any room for me to even move around in here, so I wanted to quickly gather up all of Carson's laundry that needed to be done as well. You guys will see I was so behind on laundry, it was crazy. I actually ended up doing 8 loads of laundry on this day. 8 loads of laundry. I think that's a personal record. And I got most of them folded and put away too, so that was pretty impressive. But anyway, this is what underneath his bed was looking like. Like I said, it was disgusting. I don't do this often enough, and he told me that it was bad under there, but still I was somehow shocked when I lifted up the mattress and actually saw it for myself. But before I start vacuuming, I'm picking up anything that fell under there that I don't want vacuumed up, and then we have to vacuum between the slats. So I took out my big vacuum to do this. It's just much easier to use this one for that. I bought all of this furniture for Carson when I was pregnant with Sutton, so that had to have been like 2.5 years ago now, I believe. But lately I've really been thinking about building him a loft bed. I saw something really cool on Reels recently that I thought was just amazing, and where he has such a small room, I feel like it might help us to utilize the space a little bit better if we can get his bed up off the floor and create something cool for him underneath it. But I'm undecided because we really invested in this furniture. It came from Pottery Barn Kids, so I just don't know if I'm prepared to give up on that investment right now, but it's such a cool idea and I would love to do a loft bed for him. Taking a quick break, I just got off a phone call with my doctor. I'm actually having surgery in 2 weeks from today, which I'm sure I'll update you guys on that after or just when I feel comfortable, but just know like all is good, everything's fine, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. So anyway, I don't want to get sick before I have that surgery, so I'm about to take my vitamin C gummies, and these vitamin C gummies are from Mary Ruth's, and Mary Ruth's is sponsoring today's video, which is really exciting because they're a brand that I already use and love, and also because that means I have a 20% off discount code that I can share with you guys, so be sure to stay tuned so you can hear about that. I have been a big fan of Mary Ruth's for a while now. I actually take their magnesium gummies. You guys may know that if you watch my videos, but I've been taking them for several months, and then also my toddler takes their their like Cocoa Melon multivitamin drops. So Mary Roots is Clean Label Project certified, which basically means that the Clean Label Project has tested all of Mary Roots products for all contaminants and toxins. It has given them the highest Clean Label award, so I feel really good about giving these to my family. Like I said, I am taking these vitamin C gummies. These come in cherry orange and grape flavor, and the cool thing is that my kids can take these as well because they are meant for 2+. They're delicious and they just help to maintain my immune system. Where I have surgery coming up, I'm trying to be really careful about not getting sick, and this is just one of the ways that I'm trying to help keep myself healthy. These right here are the kids probiotic gummies. We have had some tummy issues with Sutton in the past, so we have found these helpful for that so far. These probiotic gummies help to maintain normal gut comfort and function. I also like that these are not made with any like junk ingredients. A lot of like kids vitamin gummies can be full of junk, for a lack of a better term, but these have clean ingredients. So again, I just feel really good about giving them to my kids. I do cut this up for Sutton because he is like freshly 2 years old and I worry about choking, but I just give the whole one to Carson. And so far, we've really been liking these. The kids don't fight me on taking them. The strawberry tastes great. And we've definitely noticed a difference in Sutton's gut health. Like I said, he's always kind of struggled with tummy issues. And then this one right here is a new one for me. This is the vegan liquid iron. I am like chronically low on iron, which I'm sure that there's probably a lot of other people watching who have this same issue. I feel like it's pretty common, but I've recently started taking this to try and help with my iron deficiency. This one is pretty new for me, so I can't attest to how well it works yet, but I'm sure it works great because like I said, I've had a good experience with all of my Mary Roots products, and I'll definitely update you guys on my thoughts about this when I have more time to use it. But again, I cannot reiterate enough how much we love Mary Roots. We've been using them for quite a while, so I just love getting to work with a brand that I already use and love. And like I said, I have a 20% off code, so I will have all that information and the link that you can click in my description box down below, so make sure that you check that out and save yourself some money. And I just want to say a big thank you to Mary Roots for sponsoring today's video. The next thing that I'm doing is clearing off his dresser. It was just covered in junk, and this is where I started thinking that I was going to need to do a declutter. He tends to accumulate a lot of random stuff, mostly from like Valentine's Day parties at school or little Halloween gifts that he got from friends and stuff like that. So we just have little knick-knacky things that he's never touching and he's never going to notice are gone, but they were taking up all this space on his dresser. So it was really good for me to go through everything and get rid of all those random little pieces of things that he's never touching, he's never playing with, and he's not going to miss. Carson and his dad are both really into collecting sports cards right now, which is not my favorite thing because if you guys watch my channel, you know I love throwing things away and I'm not a big collector. I've never been a collector. And so I kind of have a hard time with that because there's just so much extra clutter that comes along with having a collection, especially something like sports cards. So we've had a really hard time with organizing them. I tried to create an organization system in his closet for them, but he just is not using it. He prefers to keep them all in boxes and keep them all over his room, and it drives me insane. So if you guys have any suggestions for that, I would love to hear them in the comments below. At the end of the day though, this is his room and those are his things, and if that's what he wants to do with them, then that just is what it is and I will have to get over it, although the clutter does drive me a little bit mad. But anyway, I'm also going through this bin that he has on his floor. He's had this bin on his floor forever and it's full of like fake fish and he has them like labeled and named and everything else, so I can't take all these things out of his room, but I will get them up off the floor. And then I'm also going through his laundry basket here. This was full of clean stuff, and then it had a couple of random things from Easter. I'm moving that out of the way because I just didn't have any room to work in here with that laundry basket. And then I'm going through all these things on his floor as well. I decided to also go through all of these little shelves he has in his closet and declutter some things in there because he rarely touches any of the stuff that's in here. He has a bunch of Lego kits that he never ever uses, and I just don't think we're quite at the Lego phase of our lives yet, so I did go ahead and declutter those along with a bunch of other things from in here so we can better utilize this space for some stuff that he's actually using. Carson is not very into toys anymore, which honestly makes me a little bit sad. I just can't believe how big he's getting. He's much more into like board games and sports card collecting and sports in general. He loves playing basketball in his mini basketball hoop in the hallway. He loves playing football and all of that stuff. So he's really not been playing with any toys for quite some time. But what I did notice was that after I went through all of his stuff in his closet, he went in there after school, he opened it up, and he started playing with some things that he has not played with in a very long time. And I think that's just because he wasn't so overwhelmed by the clutter and he was able to actually see what he had. And it was kind of similar to like how I rotate out my toddler's toys. When I rotate them out and put something new, or even when I just clean up the toys, I notice that he plays so much more content and he starts playing with things that he maybe hasn't played with in a while. So anyway, I just thought that was funny that he started grabbing for things that he doesn't usually once he saw how clean his room was. As usual, when I'm filming, I usually just stuff everything into a trash bag, just honestly for the sake of being able to show you guys how much I'm decluttering. But I do go through this after I'm done filming and I separate out what's recycling and what's donation and what's trash. I think I mentioned this earlier, but I did film this a couple of days after Easter, so I wanted to go through his Easter basket and throw out any trash that was in there. There were wrappers and stuff, and then go through the candy, and if there was anything I don't want the kids to have, I did go ahead and get rid of that. And I wanted to be able to put this Easter basket away. It is really big. It takes up more room than you would think it would, so I wanted to get that put away back into storage for next year and get all of this candy put into our pantry. You can see on the floor there's a bin that's full of binders, and those are full of sports cards, and then he's got more binders in his bookshelf behind me as well, and that's full of sports cards. So there's just so many. It's crazy, and it's such a sore spot for me because I just don't know what to do with all of them. But anyway, I'm not decluttering anything out of his bookshelf in the corner. We still read all those books on a regular basis. But once I finished just kind of cleaning that area up a little bit, I started wiping down his bed frame with some wood cleaner. And here's everything I've decluttered in his room, all consolidated into this trash bag so you guys can see. And now we're going to move on to cleaning up the rest of his room. So I'm just going around the perimeters of the room on the baseboards and around the furniture with the vacuum that I had already brought in there. And then I did have the robot vacuum go off and clean the rest of the house, like vacuum and mop every room. So that's why I'm not like thoroughly cleaning the floors, because my robot vacuum will do it for me. Moving into our bedroom, I wanted to get the bed made and just get the room cleaned up a little bit. There was just like trash and random stuff kind of all over the place, and there's nothing worse than going to bed at the end of the day and having your room be a complete disaster. So I really wanted to get this straightened up. I have been thinking about investing into new sheets for quite some time, and I'm just curious, what are your favorite brands? If you could leave them in the comments down below, let me know what you think. I've used like a Belgian flax linen for years and years now. I want to say like 5 or 6 years at this point. We're very used to using that type of sheet, but I'm just curious what you guys use, what you recommend, and if there are any good brands that I'm missing out on. The amount of laundry that I needed to catch up on was absurd. I don't understand how it got so bad. Usually I'm much better about doing smaller loads of laundry and staying on top of it, but we've just been so busy lately with Easter and then bringing my sister to that concert and the prep for Easter and just everything that goes into holidays as a mom, just as a family in general. It just took a lot out of me, and I did not get nearly as much done as I usually do around that time. But it is okay also for me to take breaks and for things to fall behind, and I just try to remind myself of that instead of beating myself up over it. And this is just an overview of all the laundry that I had to get done. Like I said, I did 8 loads of laundry. I got everybody's laundry all done and put away except for my husband's. So every single one of us had clean clothes. His didn't get put away. He needed to do that. But all of us had clean clothes at the end of this day. And look at how many times I had to go down the basement stairs in order to get it all done. But now we're moving on to the kitchen. I had so many dishes, as you can see, so we're gonna get those done. For some reason my camera really wanted to focus on the tulips instead of on the dishes for a couple minutes here, so just bear with me because these clips are gonna be a little bit out of focus, but it does get better. I don't know why my camera did that. I am going to be 32 this summer, which is crazy. I can't believe it. Time is just absolutely flying by, and I feel like it didn't start flying by until I had children, and then it just really started going. I still feel like I'm 21 inside until I hang out with actual 21-year-olds, and I'm like, nope, never mind. I am not 21 anymore. I took my little sister to an Olivia Rodrigo concert, and my little sister is 17 years old. She had a blast. She had so much fun. I was so glad that I was able to take her. I loved it too, but man, was I exhausted the next day from going to this concert, and I just definitely felt out of place around all these young girls at this concert, like absolutely screaming their hearts out along with Olivia Rodrigo. It was so much fun, but yes, it took me multiple days to recover from the exhaustion after going to that event. There is just nothing like scrubbing out my sink when I've done all my dishes and making the sink look all shiny and fresh and having it smell good and be sanitized. Lose my mind, but I always come around, don't I? And I know sometimes I'm bringing you down, but I always make you smile, don't I? Like the waves on a big blue stormy sea, but still you're the one who brings out the best in me. We're a little messed up, baby, kinda up and down, and we keep. Now we're just going to clean up the kitchen, get it all tidied up, get the countertops cleared off, and then wipe down. Yeah, we're a little messed up, baby, it's never getting boring when we keep aiming for the stars, just you and me. In my last week's video, I took out the drawer that was underneath my stove and cleaned out under there. It was so gross. I've been doing a bunch of different, like, deeper cleaning projects in some of my videos, and I wanted to remind you guys, if you are still doing spring cleaning, that I did post a spring cleaning video. That video could use some love. YouTube totally tanked that one, and it makes me so sad because I really worked my booty off on that video. So if you are needing any more motivation after you finish watching this one, I would love for you to go, like, I think it's 2 videos back, and check out my spring cleaning video, and maybe you'll get just a little extra boost of motivation from that. Like the waves on a big blue stormy sea. I was keeping these tulips in a literal food storage container because the only vase that I had was in our basement, so I had to go and grab that, and I was just being lazy for a couple days. But I did go ahead and grab that vase so I could put these tulips in an actual vase and not in a food storage container anymore. But now I'm going to finish clearing off the countertops. We had our chessboard out. My son Carson is super into chess and he's very good. It's crazy. He beats my husband and I all the time. And my husband's pretty good. I'm okay, but my husband's pretty good, and he loses to our 6.5-year-old on a regular basis. It's crazy. Carson is just so smart. He definitely didn't get it from me. But anyway, clearing off the rest of the countertops, and then we'll wipe these down. Sutton loves to stand in his kitchen helper all the time and eat and play, and so there's just always crumbs and stuff under here, so I'm gonna sweep all those up and then also wipe down a popsicle stain and the side of the island. One area that I never think to clean is underneath like the overhang of our island, and I noticed that it was disgusting. Plus like the whole back of the island looked like this, so I wanted to wipe all of that down. And this is your reminder, if you have not cleaned this part of your kitchen, if you have one, definitely check it out because you would be surprised how dirty it gets, especially if you have kids who sit at the island. And if you're wondering what was happening to the camera there, the robot vacuum was driving into my tripod and moving the camera around. There were sticky little fingerprints and stuff all over my dishwasher, so I'm going to wipe that down and then we will work on cleaning off the stovetop. As usual, I'm using the pink stuff. I always mention how much I love the pink stuff. It just works the best. I usually use it with like some kind of sponge and I'll really scrub it in there, treat it like it's a piece of art and just kind of scrub for a long time. And then after that, I will rinse it with some water. I'll use paper towels to kind of pick up the excess. And then at the end, I usually go over it as well with a microfiber cloth and my all-purpose spray. Once I'm done doing all those steps, my stovetop looks beautiful and new, and I feel like this lasts so much longer than just giving it a quick wipe down. We had another Easter basket that I needed to go through and either put where they belonged, sort through the candy, get things in the pantry. I also had a bunch of like outdoor stuff that my kids were given for Easter that needed to go into the shed. So we're just going to sort through that. I grabbed my trash bag I was using for everything else and figured I would just continue to add to it with this Easter basket. And this basket is actually my mom's. It belongs to her house. So I needed to make sure I brought our 2 Easter baskets that we took from her and put them into my car so we could return them to her. We do not need any extra clutter in our house. Next, I'm going to wipe down the dining room table. We have been sitting here all the time because now that Sutton's not in a high chair anymore, I want to make sure that we're eating as a family. We used to always eat at the island, but there's only 3 seats. So anyway, we've been sitting at the table. It definitely takes a beating, and Sutton's chair was very dirty. And I also noticed that underneath it was just covered in crumbs. So I wanted to make sure I took this seat off and properly cleaned the chair underneath it. At this point in the day, all of Carson's bedding was dry and clean and ready to be put back on his bed, so I'm removing his 10,574 stuffed animals off of his bed once again so that I can make it. I always put down like a little pad there just in case. You just never know with kids. I don't want any accidents like ruining a mattress, so I always put that down underneath his bedding. And this bedding is by Betty's. It's like the zipper bedding, so it's almost like a sleeping bag, and he absolutely loves it. He sleeps so well in this bedding and it's nice and cozy and warm. I'm sure that once the summer comes, we will switch out to something a little bit lighter. I've been thinking about getting him a second set, but they are pretty pricey, so I don't know. But we do really, really like Betty's. Next, we have some laundry folding motivation, so we're gonna get to that. And Carson was home at this point. You'll see him like popping in and out in the corner because he was playing basketball on his little basketball hoop in the hallway. But you'll notice at the end of the video, I had done like a face-to-face outro and I mentioned that I was going to go pick up Carson. So this was actually filmed a little bit out of order, but I didn't want to do the outro before this part, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I wasn't planning on folding this laundry on camera, is the point that I'm making. And I ended up deciding to do it after I got him. So anyway, we're folding the laundry. I have been using Truly Free laundry detergent for a couple of weeks now, and we're big fans. It smells great. It's non-toxic. We just really, really enjoy it. We've had a good experience so far, and they did give me a discount code, and I will put that information in the description box down below if you're interested in checking out Truly Free. But if you are kind of on the hunt for a more non-toxic laundry alternative, then definitely check out Truly Free. My husband and Carson both have very, very sensitive skin, my husband especially, and this Truly Free detergent is skin safe, and so far we've noticed that he is less itchy and his skin is looking a little bit better. So I'm hopeful that over time we will see an improvement in his skin just from switching our laundry detergent. Calling it quits for today. I feel like I got a lot done, but I'm tired and I have to pick up Carson very soon. I actually need to run to Target. There's a couple of things that I need to grab today, and I'd like to do that before it starts downpouring because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to torrential rain for the rest of the day. So anyway, I wanted to do a face-to-face outro and say thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Mary Roots. I'll have all that information in the description box down below. 20% off your order. Definitely take advantage. I think next week's video is going to be a huge declutter of my mom's house. It's either next week or the week after, I can't remember, but I'm filming that on Friday. Today I'm filming on a Wednesday, filming that video on a Friday, and I cannot wait for that. You guys are going to love that. You're going to get so much motivation out of it. My mom's house needs a good declutter so bad, and I'm doing this as a favor to her because she actually needs a hip replacement and she's not as mobile as she used to be right now until she gets that done. So I'm excited to help her out and film it and take you guys along with me. Still have the basement declutter coming up. I promise it's going to happen. It's just a lot of work. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and it gave you some motivation. If you are new to my channel, be sure to subscribe if you enjoy cleaning, decluttering, organizing, all the things. I post a new video every single Wednesday, and I just really appreciate each and every single one of you who watch my videos and comment. In fact, if you're still watching, leave me a green heart so I know that you made it all the way to the end. I'm gonna go now, run my errands, grab Carson from school, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Thank you again for watching, and I hope I'll see you again next week for another video.